Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 7, 9.7, system defined default constructor. As I told you already, constructors can be classified into three types. User defined argument constructor. In the previous program I explained. Now system defined default constructor. Thereafter user defined default constructor. Now let us focus on system defined default constructor. Try to recall in the first chapter of this course itself, we created objects like this. Now we see, just try to recall a room or room 1, a new room. Actually, I didn't give any argument, but I am calling the construct. Now you understand that this is it is nothing but calling a constructor. But if you see in the blueprint class, we didn't define anything explicitly. Now, in such case, you should get a doubt. Without defining a constructor, how can we call it? The answer is that is system defined default constructor. That means Java, for us, it creates a constructor and keeps it in the class definition. How it is with a reference to that, how it looks. It was invisibly defined by the Java. How it looks. Now, this is the thing. Here, let us say, same arguments, length, breadth is equal to 0, is equal to 0. This is the way. This is the invisible constructor, system defined default constructor. Now, what is 0? That you have to understand. Okay, now this is nothing but calling the system defined default constructor. Okay, what is the purpose of this? By calling that, what happens? You know that every instance variable is of a type. It may be one of the primitive types, byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, or boolean. Okay, or it may be reference type. So there is scope of 9 types. 9 types. So for all of them, default values are there. For your information, for integer type, byte, short, int, and long, those are integer types. Their default value is 0. 0. That means this, whatever code I have written, if instance variables are defined with the int type, one of the 4 int types, those are initialized with 0. That means length is equal to 0, breadth is equal to 0. Okay. What about float? Float and double, 2 floating point types are there. For them, 0.0. That you have to understand. And as far as the 7th one is char type. Char type is initialized by null character. Actually, you cannot see that. Null character. Null character means nothing. Nothing. It is initialized by nothing. You cannot find anything like this. Okay. Thereafter, Boolean. As far as Boolean is concerned, it is not true. It is false. False. It is initialized by false. That point you have to understand. Okay. As far as object reference is concerned, that is null literal. This is null character. For char null character, nothing is printed. As far as if it is an object, instance variable is an object, means let us take, you get a doubt, string. Suppose you have defined an instance variable like a string name. So, this is an object. Its default value is null. So, whenever system defined default constructor is called, the variables, the instance variables, depending on the type, they are initialized with the default values of the corresponding type. So, if it is one of the 4 integer types, those are initialized by 0. If one of the two floating point type, either float or double, 0.0, if they are null character means nothing, and if it is boolean, is assigned initialized by false. If it is an object reference, it is initialized by null literal. This one, null character is different, null literal is different. So one thing you must understand: system defined default constructor is meant for initializing instance variables with the default values, provided the user does not assign any values explicitly.